Tim Walz, Mr. President, do you think he should resign over the fraud scandal in his state?
And who should?
Tim Walz, over the fraud scandal in his state.
Look, I think the man's a grossly incompetent man. I thought that from the day I watched JD destroy him in the debate. I was saying, who was more incompetent, that man or my man? I had a man and he had a man. They were both incompetent, and I had a man and a woman. I thought she was very incompetent too, but now she's leading the field, and I think she's leading the field in this for the nomination. Anyway, look, that's up to them. That's up to the Democrats. You know, the problem with them is they have really bad policy. And I'm not going to say what it is because I don't want them to change it necessarily. Because I want to run against it, whether it's not going to be me, it's going to be somebody that's going to probably sitting at this table. Could be a couple of people sitting at this table. Could be a couple of people running together sitting at this table, you know. But I want them to win because we've done a great job for this country, and I want that to be carried forward. And you know, I think we have a tremendous bench, really a tremendous bench. But no, I think that Walz is a grossly incompetent man. There's something wrong with him. Okay, there's something wrong with him. And when you look at what he's done with Somalia, which is barely a country, you know, they have no anything. They just run around killing each other. There's no structure. And when I see somebody like Ilhan Omar, who I don't know at all, but I always watch her for years. I've watched her complain about our Constitution, how she's being treated badly. Our Constitution, the United States of America, is a bad place. Hates everybody, hates Jewish people, hates everybody. And I think she's an incompetent person.
I 100% agree with the president. And it's funny to me when people that ran from their own country have the nerve to come over here in the United States of America and talk negatively. I did a video yesterday that y'all might have found where it was a girl that was basically saying, listen, if we was to leave, then we would be great where we came from, and y'all would be broke over here in the United States of America. And you see these people that weren't even born into this country come over here under different statuses and asylum, and they take advantage of American taxpayers, and they use Section 8, and they leverage food stamps, and they build themselves up off of our infrastructure, and then have the nerve to be disrespectful towards the people that was already here, that already built this place, right? Like, when we go over to other countries to even visit, you have to respect their culture, respect their country, learn their laws, assimilate, even sometimes get a translator, or, you know, do some work yourself to figure out how to communicate effectively. But you basically have to adjust to them and not the other way around, or you just got to spend a lot of money in order to do so. Us, on the other hand, we allow for people to come over here inside of the United States of America, take advantage of us, use our taxpayer dollars. We subsidize their lifestyle. They then take their money and then they go and buy luxury cars, luxury vehicles, houses. They built themselves up, built their businesses, and then they send money home to take care of the people back home, all while being disrespectful here because legislators have basically created laws that allow for them to get certain protections. And then to put the cherry on top, then they start getting uncovered for fraud. And here's the real caveat for the whole thing. Then you all have legislators who protect them. You got people here on the left that hate this country, that hate America so much that they're willing to basically throw the country under the bus to protect people that's not even from here. We don't even get that same respect as American citizens born here who has lineage here. White people, black people, the whole 9 yards. But they get all of the benefits, all of the benefit of the doubt, all of the help, all of the protections, all of the love, all of this stuff. And then we have the nerve to sit here and go back and forth with people. And then you go over in New York, and then they elect a person that's not even from here, right? You go over to Minneapolis, there's people in Minneapolis that's not even from here. Their parents is not even from here. And let me be very clear. I'm not against migrants being in the country legally. But what I am against is A, illegal migrants being over here, and B, people coming over into this country and disrespecting American culture or bringing their culture and saying that we have to acclimate and acquiesce over into what they got going on. I'm adamantly against that. And so when I see a president that just called it out for what it is, and he said, nah, this is BS, you know, they don't even have nothing over there. And then they come over here. And this is why you got to be careful who you let in your house, because they'll start to feel entitled. They'll start to talk negatively about you when they're using you to build themselves up. And American taxpayers should be absolutely pissed, should be angry as all get out, should be absolutely pissed that people are taking advantage of. And it was a woman that I also did a reaction video to, and she said that basically they shouldn't get any taxpayer dollars. If you come over here, you're going to have to get it out the mud, or you're going to have to already be straight, and you're going to have to contribute it to what we already got going on over here. Let me hear the rest of what Trump got to say, and then we're going to go from there.
Real terrible person. But when I watch what is happening in Minnesota, the land of 1,000 lakes, or however many lakes they have, they got a lot of lakes, but this beautiful place, and I see these people ripping it off, and now I'm understanding, and you're going to look at, I hear they ripped off Somalians, ripped off that state for billions of dollars, billions, every year, billions of dollars, and they contribute nothing. The welfare is like 88%. They contribute nothing. I don't want them in our country, I'll be honest with you, okay? Somebody would say, oh, that's not politically correct. I don't care. I don't want them in our country. Their country is no good for a reason. Their country stinks, and we don't want them in our country. I could say that about other countries, too. I can say it about other countries, too. We don't want them to hell. We have to rebuild our country. You know, our country's at a tipping point. We could go bad. We're at a tipping point. I don't know if people mind me saying that, but I'm saying it. We could go one way or the other, and we're going to go the wrong way if we keep taking in garbage into our country. Ilhan Omar is garbage. She's garbage. Her friends are garbage. These aren't people that work. These aren't people that say, let's go, come on, let's make this place great. These are people that do nothing but complain. They complain. And from where they came from, they got nothing. You know, they came from paradise, and they said, this isn't paradise. But when they come from hell, and they complain, and do nothing but bitch, we don't want them in our country.
Yo, yo, shout out to the President of the United States of America for just calling it like it is. You know, the way that they tried to paint the headlines, they tried to make it seem like he said something that was out of pocket. No, he just wasn't politically correct. And you can't come over here and, in the words of the president, bitch and moan and complain, and then at the same time expect for us to want to have you over here. Are we supposed to be accommodating, and you sitting here talking bad and bad mouthing the people over here in the United States of America? Nope. I agree with the president 100%. And I think that the country is ultimately at a tipping point where we're going to have to make a decision of whether we want to go left or we want to go right. And you can't be lukewarm. You can't be in the middle. Make sure you guys tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. Teach Henley, 40% off your first order, 20% off for life. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm going to holler at you guys later. Let me know what y'all think inside of the comments.